Sandy is one of these instant subjects. You really don't have to use any technique at all. Workshop in Phoenix. I went down for a brief visit to the workshop, and Bob Pearson and Kay Thompson were asking for a volunteer from the audience. I looked the audience over, and I knew that Sandy, whom I'd never seen before, was going to volunteer. It's very charming to watch her discover if she's going to volunteer. She was looking around to see who was going to volunteer, without knowing that she was slowly getting up. And she was in a trance before she got on the platform. And then it was on the trance she realized she was a volunteer. Come in, Sandy.
How are you, Dr. Erickson?
And sometime later she confided that fact to Mrs. Erickson, who had not yet noticed it. Sandy, I've told the audience that kind of a subject you are. How at the meeting, you volunteered to go up on the platform before you knew about it.
That's right.
You ready?
Ready?
I want you to listen very carefully to what I say. Sandy, what is my name?
Tommy.
Tommy. How old am I?
9.
Now, how old are you?
7.
7. What shall we do today?
I want to go in the woods. Do you want to go too?
Mm-hmm. What do we do there?
Well, we could climb the trees.
Which tree?
Would you like to climb the apple tree?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Are the apples big enough to eat now?
Well, I eat them anyway.
Get sick?
Never.
I
Just
do.
Once. Pardon?
I do every time.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
But you like them anyway?
Oh, yeah. I think everybody should eat green apples.
I do too.
I can climb faster than you can.
I know. I like to be where I can see the ground and you don't.
It's fun, Sandy. I mean, climbing a tree as high as you can. And you know, and be high up in a tree when the wind blows, that's really fun.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now you know what I mean by... Are we barefoot? What are we doing?
Well, I'm walking in the gushy mud, and you're out further on the rocks.
That gushy mud is very nice. What kind of tadpoles are those?
I don't know. Do you think bullfrog?
No, I think they're just the ordinary little green frog.
Do you?
Mm.
I can't tell.
Maybe some of those tadpoles are little toads.
How can you tell the difference?
You can't tell by looking at them. Frog eggs are laid in a cluster,
Mm-hmm.
and toad eggs are laid in a band.
Oh,
You ever find that band?
I remember seeing those, yes. They were in like a string.
That's right.
That's right.
I don't know how many of you knew that about frog eggs and toad eggs. Now you can tell a toad egg from a frog egg, because they're in strings of bands. And frog eggs are in a cluster. So, Sandy really saw frog eggs and toad eggs without knowing. What do you want to be when you grow up?
A doctor.
You do? I mean, cutting up people.
No, well. No. What do you want to be when you grow up?
Well, I'll be a doctor.
You want to cut up people?
No. I'll just examine their heads.
Oh.
People who think they have belly aches when they don't have belly aches. That's the kind of patients I want to see.
Oh. I had a bellyache, but it was a bellyache.
How are you such a scaredy cat about climbing a tree?
Well, because I've seen you up in that tree when it was moving.
Was that all right?
Well, you liked it, but I don't think I would.
You haven't tried it.
I know. If I tried it, I wouldn't be a scaredy cat, would I?
That's right. Are you always going to be a scaredy cat?
Well, I don't think I want to climb that tree on the top.
You know what's wrong with you, don't you?
What?
You're a girl.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's
can do
two.
that. What?
Being a girl.
What?
Everything. Girls are afraid of this, they're afraid of mice.
I'm not afraid of mice, and I'm not afraid of snakes, and I held a snake and you saw it.
You're just showing off then. Try to make me believe that you could do as much as a boy could. You can't.
The only thing I can't do is climb to the top of that tree.
Can you wrestle?
Yes?
Not very good.
I can too. And I jumped off the top of the garage with everybody else. And I could run
Just
just
because
as
they
fast.
gave you the courage.
Who gave me the courage?
You watch the others and then you jump.
Well, yes, I did. But I still did it.
Copycat. You're just nothing but a girl. And girls are always finding fault.
Why are you saying that?
Because it's true.
Well, you can do things because you're older than me. But when I get as old as you, I can do it too.
You sure of that?
Mm-hmm.
You're getting older and older and older. What's that place over there?
It's a wash
Where?
in Tucson.
What's over there? Beside the what?
Beside the wash,
Mm-hmm.
some rocks and some flowers.
The color of flowers.
They're purple.
Other color too?
Well, there's a few yellow ones, but mostly purple.
Mm-hmm. How tall are the yellow ones?
Oh, they're just little, like this.
And purple ones?
They're bigger.
That's right.
There are lots of them. And they're really pretty.
And now, Sandy, I want to walk down that wash. Turn around and see your head back there in the wash. What's the expression on your face?
Surprised. It's just watching. It's on the ground.
Is it near any of the flowers?
Pardon me?
Is it near any of the flowers?
Mm-hmm. It's on one side. It's on, one ear is down.
What are you giggling about?
It looks so funny there, like a ball. Strange that it's there.
Now watch it come closer and closer and get back on your shoulders.
You know what happened?
What?
At first it was rolling, and then when you said back on your shoulders, it was on my shoulders. I was wondering how it was going to get up there. If it was going to bounce up, and it didn't. It was just there.
We little realize how bound we are by the teachings that we experience as we grow up. You hear a sound, then listen. And I'll give you another example. I had my medical students at the induction board. You can listen if you wish. 6 of them. I did the usual psychiatric examination of Selecti, who was sitting there in the nude. And then I turned to the medical student and said, I want each one of you separately do a complete physical on this gentleman. Keep all your findings separate to yourself and bring him back here. And you've each or all of you have done the physical examination separately. and write down all of your findings. And then you return with a selecting, a total selecting. Sit down here with your back toward the students. I said, Tommy, read me your physical findings. And then Tommy said, a male Caucasian, blonde, hair short, plentiful, blue-eyed. Two of the other students piped up, that's wrong, he's brown-eyed. I said, what the rest you say? Well, 4 said he was blue-eyed, and 2 said he's brown-eyed. And surely you gentlemen examined him. You did an eye examination, yes. Then why can't you agree on the color? At that time, the selection's shoulders were shaking. He was laughing to himself. I let them argue. And those who voted in favor of brown eyes were very insistent. Those who voted in favor of blue eyes were very insistent. Finally, when they couldn't reach an agreement, it's like you turn around. One bright blue eye, one brown eye. We take it for granted. I had a patient in my office, the doctor was in the other room waiting to see me. A patient came in to have a simple question answered. I said, do you mind if I call that doctor in the other room in? I'd like to have him stand and look at you. He said, I have no objection. You call the doctor and said, Doctor, I want you to look at this patient. He's going to look at you. And keep looking. 10 minutes went by. All of a sudden, the doctor said, I just recalled, you told me, whenever you look at a patient, count his eyes and his ears and his nose and his mouth and his chins and his arms and his feet, his legs. And this man has a glass eye. They said, you're wrong. I've got 3 glass eyes. One for ordinary wear in the daytime, one for the evening, and one for times when I'm drinking. It took that doctor 10 minutes to find out that patient had a glass eye. You should recognize it immediately. Dr. Beers, one of my students, came here in '72, and he wanted to study with me. I treated him like a student. Dr. Beers thought that my youngest daughter was very attractive. It became obvious that he was definitely interested in her. And she already had a boyfriend. Our boyfriend knows that Dr. Beers is interested in Christina. And the boyfriend got jealous. And in the house I heard him say, Dr. Beers. And his couple fingers and his philosophy, his photography, his mountain climbing. When Jack Beers came to visit me repeatedly. And in 1977, Dr. Beers said, I want you to treat me like a patient. And for the first time, I saw the missing tips of his 3 fingers. I hadn't noticed it. Now, Jeff had noticed it. Christina knew about. And Jeff was angry because Jack Beers could play the French horn. He could compose music. He had been a resident in internal medicine, a resident in psychiatry, a mountain climber. Incidentally, he climbed Squaw Peak in 17 minutes. And one day he climbed Squaw Peak 10 times to satisfy a boyhood ambition to climb a mountain to a total of 10,000 feet. And his average time going up was 23 minutes. The record for climbing Squaw Peak is 15 minutes and 10 seconds. And the holder of that record was very disgusted being so slow. He said, I've got to do it faster than this. Oh, you climbed Squaw Peak. How long did it take you?
A little less than an hour. I was proud of that.
Mr. Erickson usually it takes an hour and a half. And our Dalmatian dog lopes up Squaw Peak. When she's at the top, she looks down. That's the only place you can look, either up or down. And she flattens herself on the ground and starts trembling. And someone has to pick her up and carry her down the first 50 feet. Do you know any of these people?
No, Mom, I don't. No, I don't.
How long have you been here?
A couple minutes.
Couple of minutes.
Maybe 5, 10.
5, 10. Do you really know?
Well, no, I really don't know.
Peter over there comes from Germany.
Peter?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Peter.
Hi, Sandy.
And he'll name a friend of yours. Ask him if he knows a friend of yours.
Do you know a friend of mine, Peter?
It's possible, yeah. How many friends do you have?
Who do you know that I know, Peter?
It might take us some time to find that out, but I'm willing to spend the time with you if you
Anyway.
slowly through all the names. We have a glass of wine together or something.
You sure he's not Italian?
How do you say that? Arrivederci?
No, he's saying something more than arrivederci.
He looks intelligent. I bet he can name a childhood friend of yours.
Who is that known?
Ask him who your childhood friend was.
Who's my childhood friend? What's your name?
David,
David, who's my childhood friend?
you remember Jeff?
Jeff? No.
Where were you? Can you name her childhood friend?
You remember Tom?
Tommy Toback?
Mm-hmm.
How'd you learn that? Said you didn't know any of these people.
Oh, I don't.
How'd she know? Tommy Toback.
Do you know Tommy Toback?
Admit it and tell what she and Tommy used to do.
Didn't you used to climb trees?
Yeah, in the woods behind our houses.
Yeah.
He lives in the White House 4 doors down.
A couple of years older than
He climbs up pretty high.
He always did it.
Margie, if you can tell us something more.
Yep. He liked the rocks out in the pond, and you liked the squishy mud.
Yeah, black, slimy, slippery mud with leaves in it.
And tadpoles.
Yeah, that's right.
And he taught you the difference between frog eggs and toad eggs.
No, that's right too.
Now you know what amnesia is. Now you know about David too.
Remember Tom?
How about Jeff?
Who's Jeff?
Jeff was Christina's boyfriend.
Oh, Christina's boyfriend, Jeff? Okay.
Do you know what girls are like?
Do I know what girls are like? You mean a category for girls?
Tell you a story about Christina.
Okay.
I'll tell you what girls are like. She and Margie went to North High basketball game. Margie would attend North High, Christina attended West High. They were lifelong friends. So Margie took Christina to North High to a basketball game. He came back. He said, "Daddy, guess who I met at North High?" You'll have to tell me, I can't guess. He said, "Remember that little kid that lived up the street who disappeared a long time ago?" I said, "Yes, I remember that little boy. I remember him thoroughly. You went to visit him once, he wasn't home, so you stole his toys. The next day you came down, and you weren't home, so he stole your toys." Actually, with a short memory of childhood, he came hopping, skipping down the sidewalk. See if the girls were home, he wanted to play with them. I knew where they would play, so I hid behind an oleander bush and eavesdropped. And pretty soon they began talking about stolen toys. And I heard Jeff and Roxana and Christina give a better discussion of personal rights and personal property and honesty than you could hear at Senior City. They had really found out by experience. That was that little kid that lived up the street and disappeared. Now he's a senior at North High. got 3 athletic letters, and he's a good student. And Margie was too chicken to introduce me to him. Well, what about him? Well, I want him to date me. I've got to figure out some way to get him to date me and make him think it's his own idea. Well, it's good work if you can do it. He went to the next Friday night basketball game. He's all dressed up, as she explained. I stood tall and handsome, or Jeff would be sure to see me. And came along. I said, "Hi, Jeff. Do you know me?" He looked me over, up and down thoroughly. I said, "No, don't know you." She said, "I'm one of the Erickson girls." "Which one?" "You're Christina." "You're right, Jeff. It's nice meeting you after all these years." And she vanished in the crowd. Next basketball game, he entered the gymnasium very carefully. So she spotted Jeff and kept out of sight of him. Jeff was discussing something about basketball with a friend of his. And she sneaked up close enough to overhear the conversation. And Jeff wandered on. He joined that student and picked up the same conversation. The next Friday, she hunted up that same student, resumed that conversation with him. When Jeff came along, she said, "Hi, Jeff. Meet." "Oh, I don't know your name." "Jeff, you'll have to do the honors." Well, Jeff introduced the student to her. When he got home in basketball games, he said, "Jeff doesn't know it yet. He always calls his date about 4 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. Well, he doesn't know it yet. He's going to call me about 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon." About 4 o'clock, the phone rang. It was Jeff. He asked her for a date. That's what girls are.
I'd like to take lessons from
Heard from Donna lately?
I wrote to her, and I talked with her about 3 weeks ago.
Heard from Melba?
Melba? No. I talked to Kay about a week ago. I'm trying to talk Donna into coming out in February.
Maybe she will, maybe she won't.
That's true.
Donna sent me a ceramic eggshell.
Pardon me?
Donna sent me a ceramic eggshell.
She sent you a ceramic eggshell for Christmas? Do you have it here?
The lower half of that egg is a pepper shaker. The upper half is a salt shaker.
How neat.
Mm-hmm. I'll show it to you.
Good. That's pretty practical and funny too.
Mm-hmm.
Mine are going to be practical but not funny.
Hey, you finally decided where to put that picture?
can't answer that. Yeah. I can't answer that yet.
I gave Sandy a picture of me. And I knew that she was going to have trouble with that.
You're right.
So the next time I saw her, I asked her what trouble she was having with the picture. You didn't get quite the right frame. And she couldn't find a place to hang it.
And then the whole room got switched around. All the furniture got switched around underneath it. Still have to do some more work on that, though, Milton.
I know.
I know you know.
I wonder how long it'll take you to find out.
Well, I don't know. Will you be patient?
That's the fun of waiting to find out.
Okay.
You discover how slowly some people find out things.
Well, that's because some people are really dumb. And they don't know anything unless somebody
some
else
are
explains
naive.
it. That's right. And some are naive.
And some are afraid to know things.
Ooh. Woo. One of the last times when Donna was here, and I said, well, I'll be back in a couple days. And you said, oh, that's good. And I said, maybe. You know why I said maybe?
Why?
I never know if it's good or not. Yeah.
What happened last March?
Last March. Was that when I met Donna the first time? No?
What happened in Arizona last March?
Arizona. I don't know. March.
What kind of a year has it been for Arizona?
Wet.
What happened last March?
Last March was when I went walking in the wash.
What did you see in the wash?
Flowers and a hawk and sand and stones. And a flash. Two flashes. One flash of a head and another flash of hands. I mean,
Whose head?
mine.
What was it doing?
Just laying on the ground.
You lived there intentionally or by accident?
What, my head? No, I just... Well, well, it must be my imagination or something. I mean, I just... maybe a dream. Maybe a dream, kind of a dream image.
Dream. Ask David if that's so.
Ask David if I had a dream image of my head. David, did I have a dream image of my head on the ground in a wash?
It's unreliable information.
That's right. He doesn't even know who Jeff is.
Now you know what an amnesia is. Close your eyes, Andy. And when you open them, remember everything that's occurred in this room today.
Okay. I came in here and sat down, and before I even had a chance to let go of my traveling, I was already traveling.
Back to where?
Back to the woods, and the tree, and the pond, and then
Where are the woods?
where? In Ohio, behind our house.
Fast trip.
Fast trip, and then we were in Arizona later. And then I remember you were asking Peter some questions, and Peter didn't know what to do with them, and he came off like an Italian instead of a German. And then conversations we had with David. Then you were telling stories about Christina, which I'm sure that have you been with Milton about a week or so? I'm sure by now they know that when you tell stories, there's a reason for every story. Some of which are aimed at innocent people. And I remember some innocent person in this room getting teased a bit. We won't mention names. Yeah. You really are feeling better.
Girls are dumb like foxes, aren't they?
The what?
Girls are dumb like foxes.
Milton. I know, okay.
When Christina wanted a date, she got it.
That's right, she did. You wouldn't qualify that by saying some girls, would you?
Some girls know how to get a date, and some refuse to know that they know how.
Ooh. Okay. You have all this on tape. Thank you.
Why'd you do that?
It was a sneeze, a semi-sneeze.
A real sneeze?
That's as far as it went, or wanted to go.
Don't move. Don't speak. Just wait. Let's see what your head does. Because I'm going to ask you a question, which can be answered either by a nod or by a shake of the head. And I want your unconscious mind to answer the question. In raising your hand, you said it was because of an impending sneeze. Well, is that the real reason? Now that's a conscious answer.
The only other.
Now, listen to me and watch me. If there's no other reason, there is no other reason. What am I saying? I'm saying there is no other reason. And my head is shaking no to that, isn't it? And you shook your head no, and you said there's no other reason. How do you know what that reason is? Wait and see if your head says yes. Because you took advantage of an impending sneeze to lift your hand. That way, you were enabled not to know why you lifted your hands. Now wait until your head answers. I'm right, am I not? And as a partially conscious, see if we can give a completely unconscious answer. Perseveration is the unconscious answer. Yes, there was another reason for you lifting your hand. I happen to see the full movement of both hands. And apparently you don't know why you took advantage of an impending sneeze with both hands up in that peculiar way.
I think the sneeze kind of startled me.
Huh?
The sneeze kind of startled me, so felt like
Mm-hmm. How far up did you lift your hand? One very quick movement, and you hold them very rigidly. Now, I'll tell you, earlier today, I told you to lift both hands. And wait long enough, you do it. That's what I was waiting for. What are you so self-conscious about?
I wasn't until you just said that.
Huh?
I wasn't until you just said that.
You what?
I guess I was.
You what?
I was remembering last summer where you were putting me in a trance and I had a lot of difficulty raising my hand. as I did today.
Mm-hmm. All right. That's what I wanted you to think about. Yeah, I asked you to raise your hand. And you had difficulty to get staying off to one side. Well, I think I'll call it a day. Sandy, you want to wheel me into the house?
Sure. Want me to debug you first?
Oh, yeah. I'll be deep down.